Hello and welcome to this Tank Basics video. Today's video is about attributes, stats, and what you need, what resources you need for tanking in the Elder Scrolls Online. Now, typically, whenever I'm creating a tank build, I always do the same thing. I try and achieve some minimum stats. I always try to go for at least 38k health, 20k magicka, and then 25k stamina as a minimum. This is going to vary depending on race, it's going to vary depending on gear, and enchants, and a number of other things. So some of the things you need to consider when creating your build is what enchants are you going to use? How much health do you need? So I always go for this minimum of 38k. That is the minimum you want to have. For dungeon content, for arenas, for trials, 38k is enough. There are some situations where you get hit really hard in trial content and you would want to be over 40k. So generally, anywhere between 38 and 40k is the sweet spot. You might want to have more, but it's very infrequently that you need less. Very few people can get away with having a lot less health because you need to have some health. But you don't want to stack health too high, because if you have too much health, you then are going to struggle in terms of sustain. So if you've got 60k health, but you've only got 15k stamina, you're then going to die because you're not going to be able to block and you're not going to be able to sustain, and then you're going to be taking unblocked heavy attacks and unblocked hits, and then it doesn't matter how much health you've got, you're still going to die. So you do have to balance this out. Now for me, I like to go for these base stats, and I always kind of put my attributes in last, but you can do this whichever which way you want. Now for me, I either use infused or triune jewelry. This has a big impact on your max stats. So triune jewelry is really good if your stats are low. You can equip that and you're going to benefit from that. If you don't need the triune jewelry, then you go for sustain. So infused to me is my sustain jewelry, so if I want more magicka recovery or if I want to use reduced cost, then I use infused. If I need more max stats, then I use triune. I never use healthy jewelry, I never use robust jewelry unless it's really specific situations on certain roles in certain trials. I'll use triune because it just gives me a boost of everything instead. I always use tri-stack glyphs on all of my gear as well. That is my personal preference, but you don't have to do that. So you can do this in different ways. You could, for example, put all of your points here into health, and then you could use stamina and magicka glyphs on your body pieces. Things like this are going to vary depending on your race. So I like to play as Redguard, Imperial and Nord generally, so I have stamina and health benefits. If I was playing some kind of hybridized build, let's say sometimes I'm a damage dealer and then I switch to a tank in the armory system, you might be something like a Breton or a High Elf or a Dark Elf or something else that wouldn't usually be the most optimal tank race. But what you can do is you can just put all of your points into health in that situation and then put stamina glyphs on your gear, and you've already got enough magicka. So you have to balance this out however you want. But for me, I like to put on my gear, put in my CP, make sure I've got all my passives and my skills. I set up everything in my build and then I do my attributes last, because then right now everything else is put on in my build. I've got my tri-stack glyphs on my gear, I've got my champion points in, I've got all my skills and my passives sorted out. So now I know the base number of things that I'm going to have. If you're a sorcerer, for example, you need to make sure you've got your pet active, because that will boost up your health as well. So you're going to be able to see a little bit of difference there. So what I always do is I kind of, once I've got everything in, I start putting a couple of points at a time to reach those base numbers. And then I can kind of see where I want to put my extras. So I'm just going to get up to that 20k, the 38k, and then into stamina. Once I get to 25k stamina, I can then start to think, what's the most important areas that I need to improve? What sort of build am I playing? Am I going to be playing a frost staff build? So maybe I need more magicka. Am I going to be taking a lot of damage? I might need some more health. So once we kind of reach these base numbers, you can start to play around with what is the most important thing to you right now. Do you block a lot? Do you dodge roll a lot? Do you need to break free a lot? What sort of content are you going into? Then you might need to put more points into stamina. Your magicka is kind of low at 20k. 20k is a base level value, but you might want to increase that and have a little bit more magicka, because let's say you're going to be spamming lots and lots of magicka based skills, then obviously you're going to have to boost your magicka. So sometimes going up to 22k magicka is really nice. That can really help you to sustain in content and do more skills and do more spells and heal more, and that can obviously be quite helpful. You might want to put some more into health. It really is up to you. You can customize this however you want to get the most benefit of your stats. But for me, I like to try and spread everything out and have a nice balance. In other situations, I might have took those 2k extra magicka, stats and put them into stamina to get my stamina up to 27k instead. It really does depend on how you intend to play your character. So this is just a kind of guideline on how to make these decisions, and this is how I make my decisions on what attributes I need. So I hope this video was helpful. If you need any more help in terms of tank related content, you can find out more information on the tankclub.com and over on the Tank Club Discord. Links are in the description below. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.